And thank you for coming tonight. It's been a very interesting year with many developments around rail noise, whistling, and storage of hazardous and explosive goods in the Quayside rail yard. In September, the Canadian Transportation Agency has ruled that the rail companies breached the terms of the settlement agreement signed with the community and the City of New Westminster. The agency issued an order requiring the federal rail companies to take remedial action to fulfill all of their obligations under the agreement. In September, there was a whistle event in the rail yard where a moving train in the yard had their horn on full at 147 decibels for 2 minutes while it traveled the length of the yard slowly. The rail investigation concluded it was a mechanical failure due to vibration and old technology. And yes, many people saw the humor in this too. And another whistle event occurred in December that lasted for 3 months. Lasted for 3 minutes. In this event, the train was stationary, and the rail companies, in this case, have refused to explain or report on the latest event. There was also a very tragic event this year in Lac-Mégantic. After this very sad event, I made a public request to our local political representatives and via the papers to request that no hazardous materials should be ever stored, staged, or otherwise left stationary in our community. The risk is too great. To the credit of MP Peter Julian, he responded very quickly. Within a week, Peter had called a community town hall meeting, which was held at the beginning of October. And Peter has committed to holding another town hall at the end of the first quarter of this year for an update. With just 24 hours notice of this meeting, and it was very well attended by over 100 residents, a very strong response in a very short period of time. The panel of political representatives included MP Peter Julian, Judy Darcy, our current Mayor Wayne Wright, City Councillor Chuck Puckmeyer, who's here in the audience right now, and Fire Chief Tim Armstrong, and myself. At the meeting, I asked the city to assume leadership for addressing all rail yard issues, including unreasonable nighttime rail yard noise in the Quayside yard, the storage and staging of hazardous and explosive materials in close proximity to the high-rise strata towers, and train whistles in our community. All of our publicly elected leaders assured the audience that they would do their best to address all of these issues on our behalf. The city created a community advisory panel headed by Chuck Puckmeyer to work with the rail companies to address any and all issues related to rail company operations in the City of New Westminster. After the meeting, if anyone in the audience has any questions regarding the unreasonable nighttime rail yard noise or storage and staging of hazardous materials or explosive substances in close proximity to our community or train whistles, I'm certain Chuck Puckmeyer will be more than willing to answer any of your questions individually. After 10 years of working on these issues, I'm very pleased that our publicly elected officials whose salaries are financed by our tax dollars have finally decided to assume leadership and responsibility for addressing all of these rail yard issues that negatively affect our community. And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. I was remiss in doing one thing. We need to approve the minutes from November the 27th, so if I could have a motion from the board, please. Motion. Seconded. All those in favor? So